Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, where did the time go? One day, you're full of energy, running around without a second thought, and the next, you find yourself wondering why getting up from a chair feels like an event. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the thing, getting older doesn't mean feeling older. And it certainly doesn't mean you have to slow down before you're ready. Science has shown that the choices we make every day can add years, yes, years, to our lives. Imagine waking up feeling stronger, clearer, and more vibrant, not just for a few months, but for a whole extra decade or more. Sounds too good to be true? It's not. Small, simple habits have the power to keep you moving, thinking, and living fully, well beyond what most people believe is possible. And that's exactly what we're talking about today, 5 daily habits that can add 10 or more years to your life. These aren't extreme diet changes or exhausting workout routines. They're easy, realistic, and backed by science. So, if you're ready to feel younger at 60, 70, and beyond, let's jump right in. Let's start with something simple but incredibly powerful, movement. Now, before you sigh and think, oh great, here comes the exercise lecture, hear me out. I'm not talking about lifting weights like a bodybuilder or running marathons. I'm talking about gentle, consistent movement, the kind that keeps your body strong and your mind sharp without feeling like a chore. Research shows that moving for just 30 minutes a day, whether it's walking, stretching, dancing in your kitchen, or even gardening, can drastically lower your risk of heart disease, dementia, and even some cancers. And get this, studies from places where people live the longest, like Okinawa, Japan, or Sardinia, Italy, show that it's not about intense workouts. It's about natural movement throughout the day. These folks aren't hitting the gym. They're walking, cooking, tending to plants, and staying engaged with life. So, here's a little challenge, find ways to move without making it feel like exercise. Take an extra lap around the house when you're tidying up. Stand up and stretch during commercials. Walk while talking on the phone. The key isn't to push yourself too hard, it's just to keep moving. Now, let's talk about something even more important than exercise. Something that directly affects how long you live and how good you feel doing it, your social life. Believe it or not, loneliness is just as bad for your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in. Studies show that staying connected, whether it's with family, friends, or even just your neighbor down the street, can literally add years to your life. And it's not just about avoiding loneliness. Being social stimulates your brain, reduces stress, and even keeps your immune system stronger. Think about it. When you laugh with a friend, share a meal with family, or even chat with a friendly stranger at the grocery store, your brain releases feel-good chemicals like oxytocin and serotonin. These chemicals lower stress and inflammation, which are major causes of aging. But I get it, sometimes life changes. Maybe your kids moved away, old friends aren't around as much, or you just don't feel as social as you used to. That's okay. The goal isn't to suddenly become the life of the party. It's about making small efforts to connect. Call someone you haven't talked to in a while. Join a local group or class, even if it's just once a week. Even something as simple as smiling and saying hello to someone at the park can start to make a difference. Staying social isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to your years. And speaking of keeping your brain sharp, let's touch on another simple habit that can transform your future, what you put on your plate. We've talked about movement. We've talked about staying connected. Now, let's talk about something just as powerful, what you put on your plate. Food isn't just fuel. It's information for your body. Every bite you take is either helping you stay strong and sharp or speeding up the aging process. And the good news? You don't need a complicated diet to add years to your life. You just need to make a few smart choices, starting with one simple rule: eat more real food. Think about the longest living people in the world, those in the blue zones like Japan, Greece, and Costa Rica. They're not eating processed snacks, fast food, or sugary sodas. Their diets are filled with whole foods, vegetables, fruits, nuts, beans, and healthy fats like olive oil. Studies show that eating a diet rich in these foods can lower your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. But here's something even more surprising. One of the best things you can eat for longevity isn't a vegetable. It's beans. Yes, beans. Black beans, lentils, chickpeas, these little powerhouses are packed with fiber, protein, and nutrients that help balance blood sugar, lower cholesterol, and keep your gut healthy. People in longevity hotspots eat them daily, and research suggests that adding just half a cup of beans to your meals could add years to your life. So, how do you start? Simple. Add beans to your soups, toss them into salads, or even swap out some of your meat for a hearty lentil dish. Small changes, big results. And while we're on the topic of what you should eat, let's talk about something just as important, what you should avoid. If there's one thing that speeds up aging, it's sugar. Now, I know, sweets are comforting. A little treat here and there won't hurt. But the truth is, too much sugar causes inflammation, weakens your immune system, and accelerates wrinkles, joint pain, and even memory loss. It's not just about weight gain, it's about how sugar affects your brain and your body on a deep level. Ever heard of sugar brain? It's a real thing. High sugar intake has been linked to cognitive decline and an increased risk of dementia. And here's why: sugar spikes your blood sugar, creating inflammation in the brain. Over time, this inflammation can damage memory and focus. But don't worry, you don't have to give up sweetness altogether. Swap processed sugar for natural alternatives like fruit, dark chocolate, or a drizzle of honey. And most importantly, start reading labels. Sugar hides in foods you wouldn't expect: bread, pasta sauce, even yogurt. The less processed sugar you eat, the longer and sharper your mind will stay. And speaking of keeping your mind sharp, there's another daily habit that can make a huge difference: learning. Think about it. When was the last time you learned something new? I don't mean something big, like going back to school. I mean small, everyday learning. Maybe you pick up a new hobby, read a book, or even challenge yourself with a puzzle. Lifelong learning isn't just for fun, it's one of the best ways to keep your brain young. Studies show that learning something new helps grow new brain cells, strengthens memory, and even delays cognitive decline. It's like exercise for your mind. Take languages, for example. Did you know that learning a second language, even just a few new words, can help protect against Alzheimer's? Or how about music? Picking up an instrument, even later in life, has been shown to improve brain function and reduce stress. But you don't have to take up piano lessons to keep your mind sharp. Maybe you start a new hobby like painting or gardening. Maybe you challenge yourself to do a crossword puzzle each morning. Maybe you watch documentaries or listen to interesting podcasts. The goal is simple: keep your brain engaged. Because the moment we stop learning, we stop growing. And growth is what keeps us young, no matter how many birthdays we've had. Now, let's talk about something we all do every single night: sleep. Or at least, we should be doing it. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You go to bed at a reasonable hour, but your mind won't shut off. You're tossing, turning, staring at the clock, calculating how much sleep you'll get if you just fall asleep right now. And then, before you know it, the sun is up, and you're dragging yourself out of bed, feeling exhausted before the day even begins. If that's you, you're not alone. As we get older, sleep often becomes more difficult. But here's the problem: poor sleep doesn't just leave you feeling tired. It ages you. Studies show that people who consistently get less than 6 hours of sleep per night have a higher risk of heart disease, memory loss, and even a weakened immune system. Lack of sleep causes inflammation, speeds up cognitive decline, and can even shorten your lifespan. But here's the good news: you can improve your sleep. And it doesn't involve sleeping pills or complicated bedtime routines. The first step? Get sunlight during the day. Sounds simple, right? But natural light helps regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep at night. Just 15 to 30 minutes of sunlight in the morning can make a huge difference. The second step? Cut back on screens before bed. That blue light from your phone, tablet, or TV. It tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to wind down. Try turning off screens at least an hour before bedtime, or at the very least, switch your device to night mode to reduce blue light exposure. And lastly, create a bedtime routine. Your body loves routine. Try doing the same relaxing activity each night before bed, reading, listening to soft music, or even just taking deep breaths. This signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. Better sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's about giving your body the time it needs to repair, recharge, and keep you younger, longer. Now, there's one last habit that ties everything together: your mindset. If you've ever heard the saying, "You're only as old as you feel," there's actually science behind that. Studies show that people who believe aging means decline actually age faster. Their bodies weaken sooner, their memory fades faster, and they tend to develop more health problems. But those who see aging as a time of growth, possibility, and purpose, they live longer. Sometimes years longer. Think about the people you know who seem ageless. It's not just about genetics, it's their attitude. They stay curious. They stay active. They find joy in the little things. They have a reason to wake up in the morning. And that's the real secret to longevity. It's not just about what you eat, how much you move, or even how well you sleep. It's about how you live. So, what does that mean for you? It means finding something that excites you, no matter how small. Maybe it's a new project, a new hobby, or just spending more time with the people who make you laugh. It means letting go of stress over things you can't control and focusing on what you can. And most importantly, it means believing, truly believing, that your best years aren't behind you. They're still unfolding, right in front of you. So, as you go about your day, remember, movement keeps you strong, connection keeps you engaged, food fuels your body, learning keeps your mind sharp, sleep heals you, and your mindset shapes everything. Aging isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you do, actively, every single day. And with the right habits, you can make those days count. Here's to living longer, stronger, and happier at any age. And there you have it, 5 simple, science-backed habits that can add years to your life and life to your years. Remember, it's never too late to make small changes that lead to big results. Whether it's moving a little more, staying connected, eating better, learning new things, or improving your sleep, every step you take today is an investment in a healthier, happier future. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits do you already practice? Which one do you want to focus on next? Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. I read every one of them. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips on staying healthy, happy, and strong at any age. And if you know someone who could use a little inspiration, share this video with them. It might just change their life. Thank you so much for watching. Stay active, stay curious, and most importantly, stay young at heart. See you in the next video.